Okay. So shall we start, Prabhuji? Okay, thank you for all joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So I want to thank the authority to give the opportunity to talk today. So let's start with the prayers to invoke the mercy of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी. Today we will be reading the 10th verse of first canto, second chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam. So let me share screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Hare Krishna Babaji, yes, we can see.
Okay. So yeah, you can repeat yourself by mute itself. Kamasya nendriya preetir labho jiveta yavata जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा नार्तो यश्चेह कर्मभिः कामस्य नेन्द्रिया प्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावथा जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा नार्तो यश्चेह कर्मभिः. One more time. कामस्य नेन्द्रिया प्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावथा जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा नातो यश्चेह कर्मभिः. Word by word meaning. Kamasya, of desires, not, indriya, senses, pritihi, satisfaction, labhaha, gain, jiveta, self-preservation, yavata, so much so, jivasya, of the living being, tattva, the absolute truth, jignasa, inquires, not, arthaha, end, yes, che iha, whatsoever else, karma bihi, by occupational activities. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Life desire should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Purport. The completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilizations, in all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. In politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of men fight with one another to fulfill their personal sense gratification. The voters adore the so-called leaders only when they promise sense gratification. As soon as the voters are dissatisfied in their own sense satisfaction, they dethrone the leaders. The leaders must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. But the Bhagavatam says that one should not live for sense gratification. One should satisfy the senses only in so much as required for self preservation and not for sense gratification. Because the body is made up of senses, which also requires a certain amount of satisfaction. There are regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses. But the senses are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. For example, marriage or the combination of a man with a woman is necessary for progeny, but it is not meant for sense enjoyment. In the absence of a voluntary restraint, there is a propaganda for family planning, but foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is search after the absolute truth. Seekers of the absolute truth are never allured by unnecessary engagements in sense gratification because the serious students seeking the absolute truth are always overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth. In every sphere of life, therefore, the ultimate end must be seeking after the absolute truth. And that sort of engagement will make one happy because he will be less engaged in varieties of sense gratification. And what the absolute truth is explained as follows. Okay, let's start with the Mangalacharanam. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Okay, last class we discussed the ninth verse. So much so that it was like Purushartha and other things. So let's see, look at a few things on there, and then we'll move on to this. So we discussed about dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these four things mainly on Purusharthas, right? So what is actually dharma? Dharma is particularly religiosity, which is means like not to material gains, which is not really to gain material benefits, right? People go to church to fulfill their desires. Not even church, even if you see people goes to temple, so they're seeking or asking something for material gain, right? So that is not the purpose of religiosity, right? So religiosity means for dharmasya apavargasya, which has been told in the previous verse itself, right? So what is that dharmasya apavargasya? So means to get off, to get out from the three folds of miserable conditions of life. That is what actually dharmasya apavargasya, right? So, what are the three folds miserable conditions of life? So, those are Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and then Adidaivika kleshas. So, these are the threefold miserable condition for anyone who was in this material world, right? So, um, I will not discuss in detail on those three miserable conditions, but yeah, so those are, we should come out from these miserable threefold miserable conditions in this material world. So that is what actually dharmasya pavargasya, right? So Prabhupada says, so this material world is pavarga, right? So many places Prabhupada explained about this. What is pavarga, right? When we say apavarga, uh, then we need to understand pavarga. What is pavarga? Pavarga means actually, so this material word is actually pavarga. So pa, fa, ba, bha, ma, right? So that is what pavarga. What is that pa, fa, ba, ba, ma? So means, so the pavarga, pa means actually parishrama. Parishrama means like laboring, hard labor. So we do so hard, we do work, very hardly day and night. So that is what the pavarga. And then fa means actually fena. Fena means it's a foam. Like you can see that in the mouth of horse, when they do hard labor, even donkey, even when dog, when you run so long, so the foam will come in from the mouth, right? Same thing. So you will be like, the people who are working very hard labor, so they do like and they'll get fame, like to work more, and for their to fulfill their desires. That is what fame, fena, right? Ba means actually bandhana. uh, so we when once we get all the accumulate our assets and whatever artha, so then we'll attach to that those assets. So whether wealth, money, whatever it is, right? So we'll attach to that, so it will be completely attached. That is what bandhana. Bha means actually bhaya. Once we have accumulated the assets, all desires, what will happen? So we'll get a fear. So how if I lose, what will happen? How can I secure those assets, whatever we and so that's will always in the fear, right? So that is what bandhana. Last one, ma means mrityu. So finally we will die without having those, without using whatever accumulated, right? So that is from pa means parishrama to mrityu. So all this in this material world. So those who are in material world, so we'll go through all these things. That is what pavarga. So um, so arthasya dharmaika kantasya na kamo labhaya is smrutaha. So means it doesn't it means, so this is material world which is pavarga. So we need to nullify this. So we need to come out from this pavarga, right? So from hard labor to till mrityu. So whatever we do, right? Pafa babama. So we should come out of this pavarga. So that is called apavarga, right? So we need to, yes, of course, we need to maintain the body. We need to work. So for the livelihood, so that all there, but it is not like hard labor, like like fame. What is that? Foam. We say we need to work only, so as much as needed. So that we'll discuss in later, like how much we need to put an effort for for the livelihood. So, and then artha means, so arthasya dharmai kantasya na kamo labhaya ismrutaha, right? It's in a previous verse there. If you want money, yes, that is all right, but not for satisfaction of lusty desires, right? So Prabhupada says in 1972, so about artha. Artha means money, right? So there were in 1972 there were 100 temples were there all over the world. So they were spending 70,000 per month, $70,000 per month. So New York itself, they were spending 10,000 per month. In LA, they were spending 20,000 per month. So it is almost 70,000 per month. How they were getting the money that time, right? So because they were selling the books, 25,000 per day. So they're spending, and then they're getting money of like around 7 lakh rupees in every month. So all this money collected not for sense gratification, for Krishna conscious movement only. So that is what, right? Money we get money. So if you are using properly for uh, Krishna conscious, not for sense gratification, right? So whatever we get money, so that should be used for not for sense gratification. So Krishna will give us, will give money if you really desire. Yes, Krishna will give money, but we need to use it properly for Krishna consciousness, right? So, definitely, according to our destiny, we shall get money. So, not more than that. So, therefore, Bhagavatam says um, um, here, 18th verse from fifth canto, fifth verse, fifth chapter. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatham uparyadaha. तल्लभ्यते दुःखवद् अन्यथा सुखम kalena sarvatra gabhira ramasa. So as far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just as in course of time, you obtain miseries, even even though we do not desire. See, so whatever sense enjoyment, we derived some happiness from sense enjoyment, right? So it can be obtained. Definitely, you don't have to even put a separate endeavor to get happiness from sense enjoyment. Automatically come. How it will come? So they are telling here. So kalena sarvatra gabira ramasa means kalena. So for due course, for example, if you are now you are in distress, so definitely that will not be last long. So that will not be long, right? So it will definitely you will feel after some time happiness as well. So in due course, so you will go through all this because material world is always it's a duality, right? So sukha dukkha, winter summer, so everything will come. So it is not, you don't have to separately endeavor for, okay, I need happiness. No, you don't need. So here it's what it's telling, right? So, always it will get, even if you are in happiness, definitely even distress also will come. So when you are in distress, so in course time, so you will get happiness as well. You don't have to separately endeavor. So that's what. But otherwise, what we do endeavor for lot to get happiness. Okay, if I do this one, I'll get this so much happy. So how long it will be? It will be definitely very short. Whatever we put so much endeavor to get happiness, that will be very short. So nobody in this material world continuously happy all over the year. Right? That's something which we should understand, right? Yeah. And here, otherwise, how it will be, right? Some people, born very rich family. Some people born very poor. Even they are not getting even two times food every day. So that is what this destiny, right? So destiny cannot definitely improve, but we can improve our Krishna consciousness. So that's how this material works. So those who are actually intelligent, they should develop a Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness is actually eternally there in everyone's heart, right? But which is in dormant stage. So which is not manifested, like it which is in like in a seed inside everyone, every human, right? So only thing is, so we need to awaken that. So that we should understand. So how to awake that? So by hearing and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So worshipping Krishna. So by doing hearing and chanting, we can awake our Krishna conscious, Krishna inside within our heart. So yeah, um, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. So what is saying is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya. So Krishna Prema is eternally established in everyone's hearts, but it is covered by what? Three modes of material nature. It is not something to be gained from another source, which is already there in everyone's heart. Only thing is we need to purify. We need to purify by hearing and chanting. Automatically that will be awakened. So that is what it is saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Krishna consciousness is nothing but just, which is not something we are discovering. Krishna consciousness. No. So we are not discovered anything. Prabhupada even not discovered anything, which is there already in the scripture. Just we are actually what we are doing, just we are bringing out and distributing to all the people all over the world. That is what Krishna consciousness, right? So even Hare Krishna Mahamantra Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given it, which is not invented, something which is there in already scripture. People are not aware. Just Mahaprabhu so gave that to each individuals, so that everyone will come up and uplift there from fallen souls, right? So we are giving the chance to hear people to the people about a Krishna, so that they can do chanting Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Then gradually the dirty things within the heart will become purified. So Cheto Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Maha Davagni Nivarpanam Nirvapanam. So means, so Cheto Darpanam Arjanam means actually cleans our heart by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So right. So that's how we need to awaken the Krishna within us. So and then we don't ask for okay, you are Hindu, you are Muslim, you are Christian, you are black, white, you are red. So nothing like that. There is no caste creed religion. So we ask everyone to cleanse their heart. So by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So outside people respect Hare Krishna people. That I think many people have even experienced that. So because only thing is we follow four principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. They have a lot of respect. We think that Hare Krishna people means so there is no respect from material people. No, it is not like there is lot of respect for the Hare Krishna people because we follow so many Sanatan Dharma and then four regulative principle and all other things. So you might have observed. So even I experienced myself. Okay, a lot of respect when you wore tilak and then Vaishnava dress. So a lot of respect you can see outside. You can sometimes they will explain some otherwise. Uh, Sometimes so you may not see, but you can get a lot of respect. So as long as we have this body, so yes, of course. So for sense gratification concern, right? So as long as we have this body, we have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to enjoy senses, and we have to defend. So ahara nidra bhayamaituna. Yes, we need to do. You cannot. They say that we cannot do that. So these are the bodily necessities of life. But so they are called karma, right? So called karma is allowed. Prabhupada is saying, but what extent and what for? That is important, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Balam. Okay, I'll just read the last two lines mainly. Dharmo aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. So, which is not against religious principle. That sort of karma is allowed. So, which is actually um, something which is against religious principle, just definitely it will not be allowed. So, for the sense gratification, if for example you can marry to beget the children, so that is all right. So you cannot. It's in Shastra. It is nowhere said that. So you should not marry. You should not enjoy like that, right? So that is allowed. Only the reason is not for sense gratification. All right. So for example, you can even eat. You can sleep. So you have even sex life. So even different. Yes, that is allowed. So that is not for sense gratification. So that something we should understand. So if you are working something for sense gratification, that is not allowed according to scripture. So the aim of your life is also tattva jignasa. So that is what in the sloka is telling, right? So jivasya tattva jignasa. What is tattva jignasa? So we all know that. So atato brahma jignasa, right? So what is the real business of life? So that is what atato brahma jignasa. We need to understand like who am I, right? Why I am here. So what is the purpose of life? So where is our home? So everything we should understand, right? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita is telling, Ke ami kene amaya jare tapatraya iha nahi jani Kemane Hidahaya. So that is what we need to understand. Who am I? So what are the threefold miseries giving trouble for us? So how can I go out of this material world? So that is something which we need to um, understand ourselves. That is what self-realization, right? So that is what Brahma Athato Brahma Jignasa. So that is the same thing is which is called Tattva Jignasa. Or otherwise, the same thing is Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. So as a Jiva, we should understand. So we should question ourselves why we are here, why we are going through all these troubles, tribulations. When you understand all these things, then you can establish the relationship between the Krishna and Jivas. So once we understand the Krishna, then definitely we do follow the devotion process according to the scriptures, and then we'll try to go back to Godhead. So that is what actually. So Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. So we know that the difference between dehi. So deha and then soul, right? So dehi knows meaning yatha dehi. Dehi is different, atma is different, dehi no is different. So we should understand that mainly differences. So right. So and also some people will think that so Krishna is also man. So he's like is a because they have seen as a Krishna in material, I mean, in this material world. So they may think that, so Krishna is also man, so he's also like better man than others, and then he's a like kind of stronger man, richer man, and all these things. People will think because so they don't know the conception of spiritual identity of self. Even they don't know themselves. So that is the reason. So if once know they, okay, we are not actually body, we are actually part and parcel of Lord. Mamayam sho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Once we know that, so definitely you can understand the Krishna better. So if we don't know ourselves, then definitely we'll think that okay, Krishna also like us, is also one person. So maybe he might have little more, you know, more in stronger energy, stronger in everything, right? So that is what people think. That is what the Mayavadis, right? They do, right? It's very dangerous. First understand ourselves, and then we can try to understand, Krishna. If doesn't understand, that's it. So they'll become completely misunderstood about Krishna. Sorry. So in the 4 million species, so we have come across all, right? So from we have the sloka in Padma Purana, right? Jalajana Lakshani, Sthavara Lakshavimshadi. So Krimio Rudra Sankhya, Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam, Trimshal Lakshani, Pashavaha, Chaturlakshani, Manava. So we surpassed all these species, 8.4 millions. We got finally the human Janma. But we have to utilize properly this human Janma. So, Bahunam Janma Namante. Right? So, if you're not understanding the human form, again, if you're behaving like animals, right? So like how we, ahara nidra bhaya maituna. So if you are doing same thing, so go and work, do the job, and come back, sleep, eat everything. If you are doing the same thing, so then there is what is the use of getting the human birth? It could have been in the animal life, right? So you should understand what is the difference between all other species and then human form. How did you get to this human form after surpassing all 8.4 million species? So we should understand, and then we should see what we need to do from in this human. Why we are in this form? Okay, this is the only opportunity we get to go back to Godhead. There is no other species has the ability to do Krishna consciousness and understand the God to go back to Godhead. So this is the only opportunity. Please understand. So and understand this particular birth, Janma. Try to do establish the relationship between the Krishna, and then try to do hearing and chanting. Go back to Godhead. So in Narottama Das Thakur says, um, Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gunainu Manushya Janma Paya Radha Na Bhajiya Janiya Suniya Vishakainu. See what is telling? Janiya Suniya Vishakainu. Oh Lord Hari, so I spend my life very uselessly. So it is like I have knowingly drinking poison. So Vishakainu. Just like somebody taking poison to die knowing, right? So I have just spent whole life without worshipping you. So that's what Narottama Das Thakur is telling. So this we should understand so about our life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always Yare Deka Tareka Krishna Upadesha. So Krishna Upadesha means we should Krishna Katha, we should spread Krishna Katha across the world. So therefore Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also says nothing scarcity within this world except Krishna consciousness. Only Krishna consciousness is the scarcity. So we need to spread the Krishna consciousness across across world. So that is what we need to be. We need to aim. So once we understand ourselves, and then we should spread Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastimes across the world, so that we'll get the benefit and we'll go out from this material world. Um, yeah, I'll stop here, and then I'll open for a question and answer if we have anything. Next.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Purna Prakash Prabhu. Let's thank Purna Prakash Prabhu for delivering a nice class by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Let's pray our prayers to Lord Narasimha to protect entire congregation and entire the world उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मुच्चर्मुच्चर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मुच्चर्मुच्चर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मुच्चर्मुच्चर्नमाम्यहम्. So tomorrow all Bridgewater and nearby people they can join. I mean today evening for Akrura Prabhu's class. We already circulated on that flyer for all the people. For tomorrow 6 p.m. there is a class by Akrura Prabhu at our home, 2 Rainford Road, Edison. So kindly join that class, all of you. Whoever have Bhaktaruksha today, you can attend that Bhaktaruksha, the new Bhaktarukshas, two new Bhaktarukshas. Whoever is staying nearby Bridgewater, you can attend Akroras Prabhu's class. And tomorrow, everybody can attend at our home, to Rainford Road. And we will have Sunday feast as usual. On this week, Sunday feast is a little late, 5:45. I hope you all observed that flyer. So if not, please check that. This week Sunday feast is at 5:45 p.m. So I encourage everyone to join all these programs and advance in Krishna consciousness. Our next Bhagavatam class will be on Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. So let's offer obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas who gave a wonderful opportunity to read this Srimad Bhagavatam. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Let's chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra enthusiastically and wind up the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय। अमल पुराणम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। सामवेद तरुंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।